And hello everybody, my name is Tyler, and today I'm back at you with another episode of Shapes.io. Did a little bit of tweaking for my sound volumes, and so hopefully this will be a little bit better than it has been. I realized that I've been very quiet compared to what is really listenable, so I'm just hoping that this will solve the problem. Hopefully, if it does, just let me know below. Let me know what else I could change. I made myself a little bit louder, and I also made the volume of the game a little bit louder to compensate. So, let's see. What do we want to get done today? So right now we're producing this, so our next shape that we need to probably produce is going to be this one, which will make our extractors faster, even though obviously we're not really keeping up with, or the extractor's already producing plenty anyways, but you know what, let's go ahead and get started on a new shape. So I'm going to pin this, that way we know what we need. We can go ahead and clear you, and we need white circle, blue pinwheel. Luckily, we are making a lot of white circles right now, so I can... Let's take this, we'll split off over here, so like that, and we're going to go ahead and carry this one on down to the bottom. We need white circle and then blue pinwheel. Hopefully try and not actually destroy everything in the process. Rotate this and go ahead and bring it over probably around there. Trying not to destroy the belts, and instead I just do what I'm trying to avoid, as always. That's gonna always be a staple of mine here. So... Alright. I don't know why I'm just fencing them over here, I guess. Okay, let's look for that pinwheel shape and see what we can find. Obviously, this is always going to be the fun part about doing the more advanced shapes, is figuring out where you're actually going to pull the stuff from, because, like I've mentioned before, the map's infinitely generated, so there's always a chance you'll find what you're looking for. However, you'll notice that they like to make some pretty weird shapes that don't actually really seem to be helpful all that much right now. I mean, that's half, so that might work. Being set up a similar system as to what we're doing. I'm actually going to mark this as make that our half pin, just to make sure that we don't forget about it. We're going to copy a similar setup as to what we're doing for our green stars. So in order to do that, I think we might do a similar thing too, where we can just take all of this, we will copy, and let's paste it just right here, and we'll go ahead and just go back on this a little bit, and there you go. So I can go ahead and actually click on them now to bring that over. I've not really made much use of the pin so far, just because I've not, or like the markers so far, sorry, just because I've not really thought about it, but this is something that will be pretty nice to have. We gotta go all the way down here though, so we can bring it all the way like this, that, and probably start with that. Bring it right on over here. And once we do that, we just connect it like this, and there we go. Alright, so that's one, and I think we'll go ahead and do just the same thing again. Just so that way we can have two, just that way we're doing one input, or one belt to one, and that way we can make hopefully as many as we possibly can. So like you, and like you, all the way down, bring it all the way down, and there we go. And then come all the way over here. We'll rotate like that, and we'll connect them up. Oops. So what I really want to do is rotate twice. There we go. And that should fix our problem. And there we go. And for now, we will just take the L, and bleed out all of the squares that we have just made. And most of them are just about gone. To catch up all the way back here. Let's just set you there too. Go ahead and just make up for the mistakes. There we go. Okay. Now we connect the belt like that. And we do that too. Okay. So now we've got that rotating properly. And come over here. As always. Actually, you know what? We can just probably go down like this. Down like that. And make sure we connect all of our belts together. There we go. And now we'll do one of these. And if we do it like that, we can just belt over onto the other side. Boom and boom. And there we go. So now we've got pinwheels going on. Still got our white circles over there. And we just belt onto the other side. And now all we need to do is dye our pinwheels blue, so we can copy this right here. Shapes on top, and where do we want to pull? Yeah, we'll pull blue from here. Make sure we got this going on, and now all we want to do is connect you like that. And before we know it, we should start producing the blue shapes. Here. So now we just need to bring this on over, belt underneath of here, and now we can finally do what we were going to do originally with the white ones. And we need the white circle to be our base, so this needs to be on the bottom with our current setup. And there we go. And now we'll just copy you again. And there we go. Now all we gotta do is just delete. Oh no, I don't want this to be in line. We're actually going to cutting, move it just one more over, just for general neatness. Oh, and immediately messed it up. You go like that for you, and then that. There we go. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of wrong shapes yet again. But that should have hopefully bled it just fine. Go. Also, it's not going all the way through for some reason. Ah, did another one of those on me. There we go. Alright, cool. So now, we just need to get rid of a couple of the other messed up ones, and we should be good. Except for a couple of these that are trying to sneak on through. Wish there was an easier way, like, to get rid of mess ups, but also you could just not make mistakes. But alright, so that's that. You can actually see what we got going on over here. Yep, so that's looking good. Wrong one. So already kind of catching up on that. Alright, well, let's go ahead and bust this back on over to the main pub. And I think if I can maybe take the easier way on this, we'll have it meet up with this belt, and we'll just try to merge it up. Go. I need to switch the direction of these because I did it from the wrong way. Go, there we go, and go. Connect this last one up, and we'll start seeing those come together. And to be honest, both will probably start backing up a little bit, but we should still have a pretty good flow of both coming in. I was like, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it actually forms up once it starts getting to, or once it actually gets delivered to the base. So that knocked it down to about 450 instead of 600. However, this is also at around 400, so that is okay for right now because both will actually get worked on as opposed to just one over the other, because as you see, I've only got this one other input slot left. I can obviously probably make better use of things because I probably don't need to be, I really probably don't need to worry too much about our half squares, but yeah, I mean, we're only doing 180 a minute anyways, and that's taking up 3 separate slots, just because of how I have it set up, but that's a problem for later. So And I'll go ahead and delete that marker. So that one's filling up just fine. So let's move on to, I want to see, that's at 360. Yeah, I think that this will just be good for right now. Make sure that these numbers aren't dropping too low. 432, 432. Okay. So let's try to work now on, let's go ahead and work on the belt shape, because the sooner we can get this to be faster, the sooner that everything else will start working faster. So yet again, the real question is, I guess since we have these two combining onto the belt, we know that we'll have an ample supply of this, so we can actually start taking some of these, and if we want, we can turn these green ones into red ones, and that way we don't have to completely remake the entire structure, because we probably won't catch up for a while. But also, we've got actually plenty of this right here, so let's just go ahead and do what we've been doing, where we set up a new production for it and go from there. Obviously, the less we can reuse from our supply chain, the better-ish. Depends on what your goal is, because obviously if you want to make everything as efficient as possible and like as small as possible, you don't want to use as little resource points as you can. But for the purposes of this, I'm just going to do it the easier way. And those will be fine to cover up, probably. And we'll move you onto here. Go ahead and get ourselves set up with one, two, three, four, five. Move you here, and you here. Go ahead and make sure that that's going like that, and we'll connect you like that. And make sure we carry our belts the right way. And there we go. Now all I gotta do is connect the left and right together. We just need you for the top. And we'll belt you over here. And we just need you for the bottom. And there we go. And, as normal, it deleted something and was just sending stuff directly into the trash, which we don't want. Especially since this is what needs in order, or is needed in order to actually make the rest of the shapes, but that is okay. And we're actually at a point right now where we're not actually producing enough to keep the belt saturated off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Which would make sense because we're doing 16 second and it's 2.5 second. So I think what we'll do instead is we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll just make sure that this is good for a little bit. And we'll just go ahead and merge onto here, and that should hopefully keep it saturated just fine. Now for this shape we need both a red and yellow, and then we need another white star. We are making this one somewhere. But we're making it all the way over here. So I think I'm just gonna stick with trying to keep things in line over here, making sure that we're just pretty much trying to crank out as many as we can. So we're gonna do that. I think I might be able to steal some of the white dye though, because we've got 2 rows of it. That should be fine. Oh no, wait, that's not the dye, that's the... Those are the corners. As always, is the most fun part of being like, do I just steal from something else, or do I try to start with other ones so that way I can just keep it as saturated as possible. And this is where my indecision gets to me. Let's go ahead and just make our yellow color. No, well, we already have the star setup, so let's just grab red first. And luckily we got a good supply of it right here. Go ahead and go like that. Belt on over. And 1, 2. 1, 2. We'll go ahead and make sure that we belt on over here. Let's copy this setup right here. Make sure that that's good. Actually remember to replace anything that didn't get placed this time. And now when we belt on our red, go and bring it to the bottom output, and gotta bring on our, where's our, there we go. Finished product stars coming on over here. And there we go. So now we'll go ahead and start producing that. And we'll go ahead and set up a splitter right here. That way we can belt them on over later for making the white stars when we need it. So let's go ahead and just bite the bullet and make ourselves some more white dye. Like I said, because you never know when this is going to come in handy later, and I'd rather just make sure that we're making more than enough of everything. Plus, it can make our factory bigger, which looks cool, in my opinion. And as normal, I think we just dedicate that red to... Yeah, we just dedicate that red to the production of the stars. And we'll just carry that on like that. And yet again, go ahead and just get ourselves all set up right here. That, and we'll go ahead and bring this one into this top one. And we'll go ahead and steal green from there too. And because red and green will make yellow through this color system, if we want, we can actually steal it for making the circles. Make sure that we're making yellow circles, or we can figure something else out. And we'll go ahead and just run it right along with our red. And then I'll connect all the tunnels up at once, so that way we got all of that going right at the same time. There we go. So now I get us started with that. And we'll go ahead and connect up these boys. Tunnel away. And there we go. So now we'll start making yellow. That'll eventually catch up. And all we gotta do is belt our yellow down here and grab ourselves a new production. And luckily we have some glue nearby, so that will not be difficult at all. So bring you on over here, and there we go. Cool. We got white being produced already. Bring this on down here, and now we just need to dye half of these to be white. And then we can figure out what we're going to do about yellow, because obviously we're making yellow here, but do I want to keep making the yellow here only and then just split it off, or just make another dedicated line? Because we've got red and green kind of close by, and I don't have to worry about continuing to belt everything, but this looks very nice. This is, if I had to describe my aesthetic, it would be this right here. Just everything's really nicely lined up, and we've got one solid row just to keep going down. And I am here for it. Distracting myself, as always, with all the pretty colors that I can look at and actually see. And the proof of progress. Let's go ahead and get our stuff set up so we can start dyeing the stars to be, or the stars to be white. And there we go. So we've got that being done. Obviously we got plenty of these stars, and we're not really worrying too much because we're not making the red stars currently. So I don't know how it's going to work when we're actively producing stuff, but that should be okay. And let's go ahead and look at how our goals are looking. So we're slowly getting there with the purple circles. This is slowly filling up. Yeah, but even this shape that we made last episode is already halfway to its goal. And yeah, we'll get there slowly but surely. I think that's the fun part about this game, is there's something to always pretty much be working towards, and even if I make all the shapes and I'm not getting upgrades, I'll still be able to probably keep expanding, keep building, and making sure everything just gets faster and faster as time goes on, or we just have to wait until we get something to make everything faster. But that said, I think this is a good point to call it quits for this episode. I wanted to thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully my audio is better too. As I mentioned before, I'm trying to make fixes. I want my content to be as good as possible, and before I realized that I messed up the most important part, which is audio. So hopefully this works out. Feel free to leave a comment below, let me know if it did. If you like this video, go ahead and like it, and feel free to subscribe as well, so you know when I make future content, and it also just help me keep making this content when I have the ability to. So with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.